Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'd like to share my latest journal, and I titled her Constance, and she is a 4-signature hardcover journal which I covered with the paper from RomanticaArts, which is a lot of pink laces, and then I added a bit of moire fabric for the spine and covered it with a avocado dyed vintage lace. And on the back I used a couple different laces for some pockets, which I put in some ScreechOwl tags. And on the front cover I put a piece of French trim, and this cabinet card, or it's from a vintage photo album, but it's a reproduction. And inside I had placed this original woman, and this one looked very similar, so I'm saying this is the older version and this is the younger version, which I just used as a journaling card. But the owner can put in her own photo or whatever she wants. And for a little embellishment, I did add a piece of sari trim, the little embroidery trim that from the repurposed sari dresses or gowns, and did a little Photoshop and put my own title, or just the journal in a rose, and some vintage bridal lace. And I found this clasp in my little box of clasps, but it was in a tiny baggie, and so I hadn't seen it in a while. And I just loved it, and I thought it would be perfect for this very feminine journal. And it's a lot of rhinestones, little clusters. I thought it was really pretty to use as a closure. So the pages and digitals I used in here are from a compilation of many digital artists. They're from papers that I had left over from other journals that I had printed, and then some I had printed up, because I've been doing this. This is my 3rd year of junk journaling, and I was so excited at the beginning. I just printed everything that I bought. I printed, which was kind of silly, but anyway, I've got folders and folders of all kinds of ephemera and papers, so I just wanted to use them up. So I gathered all of my pink ones. I printed a few new items, and that's what made up this journal. So let's get started. And in the front cover, I just added a few journaling papers, a journaling card, and another that I added a piece of Amity Bloom washi tape to as a pull, because when you double it over, it feels plastic, and it's nice and sturdy, and I just stapled that on. And I just found these sweet little pockets from CraftyCatUSA, and they just look like so much like fabric that I just had to print some out, and I did use a few in here. Robin Dudley Howe showed us how to dye or age watercolor paper and then do our little paint chips on, so that's from that. This is one of Sam Poole's journaling cards from one of her newer kit, the ladies version of the men's kit that she just recently released. And this is from the women's version, but I'm going to do a journal on that, I'm sure, with her other pink papers, so I didn't put much in here except for this sweet card. And a lot of the laces are from Lavish Laces on Etsy, so you might want to check out her shop. But the papers, again, they're just from a variety of digital designers and my own avocado dyed papers. And some of the designers that I do know of, when I did keep better records, I'm going to mention, as I said, RomanticaArts for the cover and the inside papers, ScreechOwl, Amity Bloom, Poole Designs, ChapterOne, CalicoCollage, Lenscraftylifedigis, SweetPeaCuriosities, CraftyCatUSA, Junk Journal, goodness, JunkJournalBee, MyPorchPrints, LenArteStudio, Iralamijashop, and of course some from GraphicsFairy. And if I did not mention you and you see something that you have done, please let me know, because I did not intentionally leave you out. If it's in here, I love it. So I just did not, like I said, I didn't label my folders and files properly back then. Well, I still don't do it actually, but I can go into Etsy and find out, you know, who I purchased from, and then I'm trying to label them all. So it's going to take a long time because I've just bought so many kits. But anyway, I'm getting there, and please let me know, and I will definitely put your name in and give you credit, because I think every artist should have their credit. Anyway, oh, I think this is from SweetPeaCuriosities. I'm not sure, but I used a vintage headscarf that had little polka dots on it, and I just overlaid it and stitched around for a journaling card to give it just a kind of a wispy old look. Plus, it's kind of textural, which I think is important in journals. And throughout the journal are inspirational little paragraphs or little writings, and they are from Nazi of Amity Bloom. For being so young, she has so much wisdom, and she has the best little poems and sayings and phrases, and I love using them, so I printed them on my avocado dyed papers, and I used them throughout. So thank you, Nazi, for that. Like, happiness is a journey, not a destination. Take your time to live. The page tabs, I think, are from MyPorchPrints. Not sure. I'm pretty sure they might be. Anyway, so the idea of this journal was to provide pages and pages of fairly blank, writable space for journaling. Because if you are familiar with my journals, I do tend to fill them up. I leave plenty of writing space, but I'm more about the decoration. I think it comes from my crazy quilting days when I just over embellished, because one of our mottos is, you know, there's never too much embellishing. So this little belly band, I made this. I found this little freebie a couple years ago online. And it's a page that a lady does tons of free stuff, and I can't remember her name. I wish I could, because she deserves credit, because they were freebies. And I turned it into a little fan that you could also journal on the back. But I thought it would be kind of cute because I do love miniatures, and made a little tassel for it. And this little antique piece of lace trim, it's just, I think it's called batiste, but I'm not sure. It's kind of that stiff fabric, kind of like crinoline, and it has eyelet, but I dyed that with avocado dye as well, and it's just a little flap. I did put in 3 or 4 large pages of beautiful papers, but I did print lines on the back, so it's perfect for journaling, like a day trip or something, or just something special. Plenty of room. And these also, SweetPeaCuriosities, the pink laces just kill me. I just had to get them, and anytime I see them, I just have to have them. And another kit, a little brighter, but I love, is from Pixie Dust Designs. She has the aquas and the pinks and laces and layers, and oh, I love it. But I did not use it in here. So this, I think, is from ScreechOwl as well, from 3 years ago. These papers, this is from ScreechOwl, definitely. This is just a flip out of a vintage wallpaper. Lots of journaling spaces, vintage laces that I avocado dyed. And these, tucked into this SweetPeaCuriosities pocket, are some ideas to put, the owner can put these, can either use them as dividers or bookmarks, or she can glue them on the pages. But there are different things that you could fill the page with, like find your voice within the pages, fill your paper with the breathings of your heart, introduce yourself to you. These are the pages of my story. I love these, and I dyed them on, or I printed them on avocado dyed cardstock so they could be used as however she wishes. And a couple more small tags from Briar Rose and the vintage, not vintage, well, replications of vintage wallpapers. And this is a uniquely Ella page tab where you decorate the two sides and then just fold it over and just glue. And it's from Marlene from Uniquely Ella. She has some wonderful videos on YouTube. And I just embellished it with another piece of my famous mother's dresser scarf. It has a little French knots on it, and I just thought that'd be cute there. A little piece of silk. And this lady, she just looked sassy, innocent, or innocent sassy. And it is just a vintage, authentic photo. And I thought she needed to be in here. Belly band with some journaling cards. And this pocket just has a sweet, large paper for journaling. And a flip out of a vintage wallpaper. Some more of Nazi Amity Bloom tape, washi tape. I can't wait till she releases more. I love this lace, and I dyed that. I just kind of dabbed it with the avocado dyed lace, or avocado dye, and it looks old and washed, like it had been damaged in water. I like that look. Some people might think it looks dirty, but I really like it. And it's such a fine lace. It just dyed really well. And an Edith Holden, I had to put a piece of her page in there for June, even though now it's soon July. This is just an applique and a little vellum bag that has small little lacy tags. This is from ScreechOwl. That's the name of it, I think, is Briar. No, it's not. Anyway, these are from SweetPeaCuriosities. Just tiny little tags for dates or whatever. And some more journaling cards, a little happy birthday card. There is no charm equal to tenderness of the heart. That's an Amity Bloom. And here's another CraftyCatUSA pocket. I love that. I would love to find some fabric like that. I never find good fabric anymore. All of our quilt shops and fabric shops have just left the area, or they've got the really modern, bright. I just don't go for that. I'm sorry. I just don't. This, I think, is from a Sam Poole leftover project. I like to add the vintage lady images or photos in my journals because it just adds more personality. And I did make a little slit in here for the pocket for these tiny little cards. And it's backed with a piece of French paper. And some more. I took these embroidery cards, I think it's from ChapterOne, but I'm not positive. And I just tore them for journaling space. A little bit of embroidery also makes a personal journal edition. And this is a vintage piece of sheer fabric with embroidery on it. And I found that on eBay. I love that. And another large sheet for journaling. One of my favorite bridal laces that I dyed with avocado. And this actually goes on the back. I don't know why I have it in here. But it is an envelope that I put a piece of paper that is folded like an old letter for journaling. I love that. Looks like it had that old tape that someone took off. And it's aged. I didn't age it. It came like that. But I love that piece of paper. So it goes in here, but it actually goes on the back, so I'm going to leave that out. And a hidden paper clip, which I will be clipping something in there, but not the envelope. And this is from Shabby Art Boutique from about 3 years ago, I think. And they make wonderful journaling cards. I think they're very dainty, very pretty. And a SweetPeaCuriosity pocket or envelope. I use them as pockets. And this is a Lavish Laces on Etsy piece that I dyed. I did the dabbing too. That's why it looks all mottled with the avocado. And this is another of the vintage photo album reproductions, and I just placed a nice hard card, a journaling card in there with one of Nazzie's sayings. One of the happiest moments in life is to love and be loved, with a little one of those little flocked flowers that we all love from Grandma. And this is an envelope from MyPorchPrints, and it is in one of the Christmas kits, but I love it so much. I love the roses that she does, and so I use that. I just kind of glued it here and left the back open as a flip, and I just inserted these botanical bookmarks, which are also great for telling a quick little story. And they just slide down there, and the backing is a piece of French book page. And then it flips out, and then I've got a couple of journaling cards in here with a little piece of silk, silk. Some more dyed lace. I love this page. This matches the envelope. I cannot remember whose it is, but I do have that information if needed. Your happiness will not come to you, it can only come from you. And that is so true. Another piece. I love this one with her. So there's plenty of journaling space in here, which I love this ScreechOwl, which I didn't, it wasn't even that hard because the papers are so pretty. It was not hard to not cover all of even the blank pages. And here's a hidden paper clip with just a butterfly applique with some little rhinestone glued on, piece of lace and a couple little florets, and Nazzie's or Amity Bloom's washi tape, and a vintage lady journaling card, and a piece of tracing paper printed basically just for the crinkle. See the beauty around you. And it has a piece of vintage wallpaper reproduction. And this is one of those 3-tiered pockets from MyPorchPrints. And I just placed several cards. This is a short one, I think. Yeah, a little short one for journaling. And then a couple down here. So there's plenty of little tucks and empty pages, lots of lace trim. This has another piece of the vintage wallpaper, a vintage lady photo, and a border, which could be a belly band if you decide to add something else to it. It's tucked in here. Oh, I can't remember who that's from. And another belly band with just various journaling cards. And another 3-tiered pocket. Oh, goodness. And they're filled with, I believe that's MyPorchPrints as well. But they're filled with the RomanticaArts tags. And they all have the pink laces on it. And a piece of vintage doily. I love that little sheer lace. And this photo, or this journaling card, is also covered with that headscarf, that vintage headscarf with the little polka dots on it. I put a stamp, but she stands alone. She's so pretty. I just covered her with the scarf just for the feel of it. Such pretty papers. This little cottage with feeding the birds I used as a tuck spot for some sweet little journaling cards. And this is also lavish laces. I think I used that twice. I'm not sure. She has some beautiful laces, lavish laces on Etsy. I love that picture. Lots of space for journaling. I still can't believe I actually did a journal specifically for journaling, but this is lavish laces. It's a tiny little trim, avocado dyed. Oop. Oh, the last page. There's a little bit of special goodies. I Velcroed a little sampling of avocado dyed cotton and a vintage lace, one of my favorites from a friend. Thank you, Jan. And a piece of silk and a little applique, and I sewed it all together with one of SweetPeaCuriosities cards and a vintage mother of pearl button. And that is very old, because I believe that is from my grandmother's button box. And this is one of my little stick pins that I make with the porcelain flowers, and I just put it in there for the heck of it. She could just leave it here for the aesthetics, or she could use this in a slow stitch kit or slow stitch project. And I also did a little Velcro card that I added a couple yards of my own hand-dyed silk ribbon. When I was crazy quilting, I dyed thousands and thousands of yards of silk ribbon. And I came up with my own, which I titled, I called it Pox, P-O-X, like chicken pox, because the effect, I don't know, instead of it's not really polka dots, so anyway, I called it Pox, and it was one of my most popular silk ribbons. And the reason I came up with it is because the flowers and everything in nature, it's just not perfect. To us, it's perfect because of the beauty, but nothing is perfect. So if you really look at flowers, they just tend to have a little darker speck here or there, just something, maybe a deformed leaf or whatever, and all of that is beautiful. But all of the silk ribbons that I would find, they were always just plain, or they were ombre or edged, but they just didn't have, you know, they needed something. And so I did my own. I just came up with my own, and everyone loved it. So that was nice to contribute to my crazy quilting friends. And this is just a piece dyed on, or printed on, avocado paper. And I love this page. Nice big journaling spot, and it just tucks behind the lace on the back page. And this is from a dress, lace dress with beads, from my friend Karen. Thank you, Karen. And I just try to use it sparingly, but I do have a large piece of it. But it looked like a flower basket when I cut it. This is from this, like this would be where the shoulder is, and it goes down into the, like under here would be the armpit and the neck. And it looked like a flower basket. So I used one of these in another project, but I think in a document style journal. But I just thought I had to use it again. This is the other half in this journal as a little flower basket pocket. And I just tucked in a whole bunch of small journaling cards. Oop, there we go. And then on the back, I have a pocket, which is actually where this goes. And it's just a lace pocket. Well, it's fabric. It's not really lace. It's an embroidered fabric that I dyed as well. And then put a thinner lace, embroidered lace on the front, and put these little tags from ScreechOwl inside. And that is Constance. She's four signatures, and she was very enjoyable to make. It's the fastest journal I've made, but it's the more, you know, I dyed the papers, and I did just a bunch of stuff to just make it. I couldn't stop working on it, I should say. Within a week and a half, I couldn't stop working on it. And that, I love it when everything comes together like that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope the new owner enjoys it. And I want to thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. And have a great day. Bye-bye.